What's going on, everybody, and welcome on in to the last episode of the 200s, episode 299 of the Garage Beers podcast, brought to you proudly here on the OBR streaming network. The Orange and Brown Report is the oldest and largest independent Browns coverage site in all of Cleveland. So get over to the OBR.com now. You see the QR code on the screen. Scan that with your phone. Get over there, subscribe, and you can be a part of the OBR as well. And while you're doing that stuff, get over to the Garage Beers on the socials, hit follow, and make sure you're tuned in to everything Garage Beers, especially now, because next week is episode 300. And I got to tell you, I'm sorry we were like 2 minutes late getting going, but we just wrapped up an interview for next week for episode 300. And I'm just going to say Cleveland Indians legend that we just wrapped up, and you're not going to want to miss that interview. It will play live, episode 300, along with other interviews next week, so make sure you are tuned in for that. But as always, I'm your host, Michael Keefe. Follow me online at Garage Beers Mike. Joining me in the garage tonight, my co-host, first over on the east side of Cleveland, in the basement, or the boiler room, as in the boiler room brawl.
Damn right.
Chad Meyer at Garage Beers. Chad, what's and Joey out in Seattle at Garage Beers. Joe, what's up, guys?
Yeah, man. Yeah, you're just going to see ladders start falling, and the wife's going to come in. We're going to have a hardcore wrestling match. Yeah, it's going to be for episode 299. All right, I'm going to beat the hell out of her.
Yeah, mankind's coming from around the corner.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
No porch today, Chad?
What's that?
No porch?
No, it's Antarctica outside. So no, that's yeah. This is. I'm on the east side of Antarctica. That's where we're at.
When I moved to Seattle, everyone's like, "Well, the weather's so horrible out there. It rains all the time." It's been like 50 and sunny all weekend out here. It's been.
Oh my god! Isn't that great for you? We're so excited for you. Jesus Christ! Hey, listen, we have got a humongous episode for you tonight. A little bit later in the show, we're going to get to. We've got to spend a minute talking about the Guardians and Jose Ramirez. The guy deserves the freaking time on this show. So we're going to talk about it. Yeah. We're going to check in with. It's been a minute since he spent some time on the Cavs and the Blue Jackets, and both teams are kind of rolling a little bit right now. So we're going to talk about both of those teams. But listen, the biggest news of the day. Well, it happened in Browns world, and we're going to lead off by. I always kind of look forward to the offseason because we don't have to lead off by talking about the Browns. But then we always have to lead off by talking about the damn Browns, and we're going to do that tonight. We're going to do it with a special guest, and this guy is one of my favorites, just a good dude. I know he can be a little polarizing on that radio waves.
What you got to be.
You got to be. And he's good at it, man. He hosts the afternoon show, the afternoon drive show on 92.3 The Fan. We're going to bring him in a minute, but Nick Wilson's joining us in just a minute, so we're so excited to come on with Nick and maybe even argue a little bit about the Browns. You know what? I was listening to the show yesterday. He had me yelling at my phone. It was great.
Nice. He can't wait for that, I'll bet. Before
we bring in Nick, though, lots of people already in the comments. Just look at Chris is in the comments. What's up? Who else? I'm just trying to look at. First of all, I got to give a shout out. Be like Pat Shea. If you're on Twitch, be like Pat Shea. 54 months in a row for Pat Shea. We're going on 5 years in a row almost for Pat Shea, one of our good buddies, Pat Shea. Be like him. Make sure you hit subscribe and follow. But yeah, welcome everybody. We're glad you're here. Keep things lit up in the comments as we'll keep things flashing on the screen. But let's get going here with episode 299. And let's start with our special guest. And again, you know him.
He's here?
Yes, he is. Of course.
Oh, my God.
He's punctual and on time. You know him from the afternoon show on 92.3 The Fan that he hosts with Jonathan Peterlin, and we're excited to bring him in right now. Welcome back into the garage, Nick Wilson. What's going on, Nick?
Gentlemen, I have my Coors Banquet here today. Want to make sure I was representing. I think last time I was nude. There was no beer for me, and that was a real mistake.
Yeah.
Although with a Coors Banquet beer, I feel like there needs to be some sort of tuxedo T-shirt going on or something there.
Ooh, yeah.
I don't think, but you don't understand. We had News Channel 3 in today to the studio, and what does my scrub ass wear? But my Mandalorian shirt that has all this shit all over it. Well, and I had two shirt options today. I was going to wear a shirt that I just wore to a wedding.
Let's go.
No,
okay.
We didn't do that. We were like, you know what? It's 12 degrees. We want to be comfortable. Let's put this on. And then, of course, News Channel 3 shows up in my freaking studio.
You know what? I think Nick.
Look, oh, hey, Nick, that's what you went with today, huh? That's
Yeah. Coincidentally, Peterlin got the close-up. I don't know why.
Peterlin never gets the close-up. Give him his moment. All right, give him his moment. Now I know this came at the right time for you tonight, Nick. You could use a beer and just to stop getting screamed at by some callers, instead by us. Nick, you kicked things off with our Garage Beers of the Week. Let us go around real quick and talk about ours, and then we'll dive into all the news of the day. But Joe, what's the beer of the day out there in Seattle?
Oh, in Seattle, we got Stoop Brewing going to the lake, Caroline.
From Poltergeist? Oh, I love that.
okay.
Okay. Can art. I don't know what it is. It's
Yeah,
it's IPA.
It's a beer.
it's in the beer category, like somewhere in the beer.
Great. It's delicious.
All right, we got a beer. Joe's got a beer.
Got a beer.
Chad, what's happening in the boiler room over there?
Oh man, I went and got myself some Stumbleberry, guys. The
I
Imperial
love
Blueberry
it.
Ale from Fathead.
there.
Oh,
Yeah, that's I needed to restock the fridge, and this was the first thing I saw. I said, boop, yep, 12 pack. Here we are, and I'm going to need a couple of them for tonight.
I don't think they sell it anymore, but do you guys remember Magic Hat number 9, which
Oh,
was
yeah.
a very berry beer? Oh my God. I've not seen that in stores in like 6 or 7 years. That was my shit for about a decade. Maybe closer to 5 years. I don't want to say it was like a whole deal, but I definitely miss that beer.
It was a bit of a deal. Chad, I hope you have a couple of those Stumbleberries. You're going to be stumbling your words like I was after our Matt Fontana interview a couple weeks ago. I was a wreck. Those beers got me good. So Stumbleberry, always a good one. We got some people in the comments. Ty Sox having the Yingling Black and Tan. Can't go wrong with that. Our buddy Wolf just likes your Poltergeist brew and kind of wants some. Greg's never going to just have a beer, a Sierra Nevada and a cold Jameson tonight. Love that.
Okay.
Got two hands.
He's classing it up. It's usually like Natty and Jaeger. Like I'm double fisting with like a Keystone and Fireball.
Yes, correct. Drew in Brick City always warms up with a handful of Bush Heavies and then switched over to some Dewars and soda. We're going to do that soon. Oh, it's great. That's what we do here. We make you all degenerates on Wednesday nights. It's all fine. We got to go to work tomorrow. For me, it's that time of the year. I love when Great Lakes just hits the right way at the right time sometimes. And this time of the year when Great Lakes drops the Conways, it always hits. It always hits. Every time. Good batch. Every time.
It's a
good batch.
Good batch.
Maybe it's because I'm like 35% Irish, but Irish ale will never steer you wrong.
Never.
Oh,
Not ever.
party beers.
Brown's Bandito. Oh, God, I love that picture. Sitting back with a chill wave. Love that. All right. Bandito's going to be slurring after a couple chill waves, too. All right, Nick. Those are our Garage Beers of the Week. Keep posting yours. I'll keep flashing them. But Nick Wilson, let's talk about the news of the day. And I know you were inundated by it. And I kind of want to give you a little bit of, I almost feel for you, Nick. Because in a day like this, especially when it's as unexpected as it is, you know, we knew about this Brown search. We certainly knew Todd Monken was a name they were interviewing, but all we had done is talk about Nate Scheelhaus. We talked about Grant Udinski until Grant Udinski wasn't a thing to talk about anymore. And we talked about Jim Schwartz. And outside of a couple tweets that happened here or there, I know I got to give Mary Kay credit at Cleveland.com. She tweeted like 3 days ago that keep an eye on Todd Monken. She said it like 3 days ago. And I think everybody went, no. It gets announced this morning that Todd Monken is the next head coach of the Cleveland Browns. It felt like it just shook the earth beneath everybody. I imagine your day, I didn't get a chance to listen to the show today because it was crazy, but I imagine your day was a little hectic at 92.3 today.
Oh, yeah. Between that and LeBron coming back and, you know, McMenamin saying, hey, maybe the Cavs would be open to LeBron coming back. And, you know, we had so many things going on. But it's funny, like my first impulse was, well, the final four candidates, probably the one I would like the least. And then I kind of thought about it for a second and I was like, well, how mad can I really be here? I didn't want the guy that had 2 years NFL coaching experience. That scared the crap out of me. Jim Schwartz, who's got a 363 winning percentage in Detroit, And if you've got sub 400 winning percentage in your career for the first run, you've got like a 3% chance of being a successful hire the second go round. And like Anthony Lynn, all right, Anthony Lynn, playoff win, above 500 record. He also had 2 really bad seasons at the end of Phillip Rivers' career. So how? And people might not remember this. The Justin Herbert thing with him didn't go very well either. If not for a punctured lung with a team physician with Tyrod Taylor, does Justin Herbert start that year? So in the end, it was like, I think you can have major problems with the Browns process and how they got here. But I think, like, getting pissed about Shieldhouse to Todd Monken, I just couldn't bring myself to do it, and found myself finding reasons to like Todd Monken, even if, again, the way the Browns went about it seemed, and the way they got to the Final Four candidate seemed like a pretty back-asswards way of doing it.
I think we learned some things today, guys. And you may disagree with me on this. I'm sure you talked about this ad nauseum, because the byproduct of the Cleveland Browns announcing Todd Monken as their head coach is we spent all this damn time talking about the Browns and Jim Schwartz. And I had an issue with that from day one. And I know we talked about this on our show. I've talked about it the whole time. If your defensive coordinator is that urgent to your process that you're willing to risk people because of it, then you should just name your defensive coordinator the head coach. It makes absolutely no sense the other way around. Well, what happens? They hire Todd Monken, and it comes out just moments later that Jim Schwartz kind of tantrums his way out of the building, which Jim Schwartz has always been a reactionary dude. So it's not really surprising to me that he did not respond in the best way. But in my opinion, guys, and you guys all chime in on this, but in my opinion, I think what it showed was maybe we overtalked about the Jim Schwartz thing. I'm not saying that the Browns maybe didn't go to candidates and say, well, we would prefer if we could keep Jim Schwartz in house. But I don't know that I'm buying for 1 second that they lost a single candidate because of it. I do not think for 1 second at this point anymore that the Browns went to these guys and said, you have to keep Jim Schwartz. This is what's going to happen. Otherwise, they wouldn't have done what they did, especially when he gave them no assurances that he would stay. Quite the opposite. Like, I just feel like that got talked about way too much. And I said it over and over again on here. I think if they hire somebody else, you better be ready for Jim Schwartz to leave. And it certainly appears that he's ready to do so. We'll see if cooler heads prevail. But I don't know. Nick, I'll give you first word on it. Like, I know you have problems with the process, but I think some part of the process was maybe narrative driven by things that weren't actually happening in the process.
I think the Schwartz thing, if Nate Shieldhouse or Grant Udinski felt like Jim Schwartz being on his staff was a bad thing, he probably was too much of an idiot to get this job in the first place. That said, I do think that Schwartz reacting the way he did tells me that the Browns themselves probably didn't communicate enough with Jim throughout the process to let him know and maybe have measured expectations. And so I think that's, again, like that's where the Browns side of this comes in for me, is it's just, I think Jim's an adult. I think if you had told Jim this whole time, hey, there's a really good chance you're not getting this. We want to give you as much of a chance, but our expectation is you're our defensive coordinator. If we go elsewhere, Jim's an adult in the room and he's under contract for next year. I think I guess I have more trust in Jim Schwartz to be the adult here. And the fact that he blew up, it probably tells me that whether it was Andrew or Jimmy or somebody just maybe didn't keep him in the loop as well as they should have.
But there's been plenty of reports that say they did have that conversation and that he was non-committal. They told him that that's what they were going to do. And if they don't hire him, they want him to stay on as defensive coordinator. And he told them, I'm not going to commit to that. So I
think though, you kind of got to hold your hand, because you're right. But you almost have to call him every day and be like, now, Jim, what do we talk about? Just because it's such a linchpin in the plan. If you're telling coaches that this is how you want it, and then that guy's not in, you look like an a-hole either way.
Yeah, something definitely was amiss here, like with a miscommunication of some sort. Because even if the Browns didn't communicate this to Jim Schwartz as much as they should have, there's no way that he could have missed everything out there saying that this was a big sticking point, that he was going to be the head coach or they want him to stick around as defensive coordinator. So I like, the part I can't get over is the tantrum side of things, because the tantrum side of things, at least to me, tells me that either something was promised or he had it in his mind already that if he wasn't going to be hired, he was out. Even being under contract this year is, something tells me that the tantrum part of this thing, he was obviously upset with something in there, and I don't know. I guess that's where this whole thing goes awry for me. Is he immediately it came out as soon as Todd was hired. Immediately came out that Schwartz said his goodbyes in the building. So I feel like he already made up his mind.
Well, and that was reported, right? Like, Nick, I know you were tuned into it all day today, but that was reported that he's been telling people for weeks if he doesn't get the job, he's out.
Well, and that was the interesting thing is Jordan Schultz had also had something where, into what you're saying, that there had been these multitude of games going on. But Jim also thought after Udinski pieced out, I think Jim somehow got the sense, whether he was told or not, that he had the inside track on the job, and I don't think that made today easier. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, to be able to pull this off, to have a guy as a finalist and then agree to stay on the next coach's staff. And it's been done. The Ravens did it with Rex Ryan when they hired John Harbaugh. That was a finalist situation. A year later, Rex obviously goes off to New York and has the success that he has before he's fired because he's a freaking weirdo. But
just because he likes feet, man, that's fine.
I think it's more he walked in there with the simple Jack haircut for 5 years in New York and just nobody called him on it.
Yeah.
I saw a picture the other day. I forgot he had the simple Jack. And I was like, how did we not? That was like 2 years after Tropic Thunder come out. How the hell did we not point this out to him?
Listen, gentlemen, first rule, simple Jack haircut. Second rule, open-toed shoes in the locker room, no matter where we are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And by the way, extra playing time to any man that brings me pictures of your wife's feet as well. Those are like $500 on the open market, and I'm willing to give you a couple extra reps to get by.
Sam, I'll forget about the butt fumble if you just get me feet pics of any girl you're talking to, buddy. I'll forget.
I mean, you did go to USC, so there's got to be some good feet around there.
So I think that's right now the concern. I think now that everything's kind of settled down, and I really think a lot of the main concern was just that shock of, oh my gosh, it's Todd Monken. He was talked about as the dark horse guy, but oh my gosh, he's the guy. I think now that that's calmed down, I think the main concern at this point is, okay, well, what if Jim Schwartz really is out? And again, I think Schwartz has made a career being a reactionary figure. He's been that way his whole career. That was a thing about him when he was the head coach of Detroit. It's been that way all the way since. So do I think cooler heads can prevail and Todd Monken can talk to Jim Schwartz and Andrew Berry can talk to him? And maybe I don't think Jim Schwartz is definitively gone from here. I don't. Regardless of today. Having said that, we've talked all the way through this process, Nick, about is the Browns' job attractive? Does anybody want the job? We're getting reports that people are pulling out of the Browns job, which drove me nuts. We had a report that Jesse Minter pulled out of the Browns job because he was taking the Baltimore job, but for some reason that was the Browns' fault. And so we get this whole thing, but now we take it down to a side of the football. And there's a chance, pretty good chance, that the Browns are going to be looking for somebody to lead that defensive side of the football. It feels like a much more attractive proposition on that side of things, doesn't it?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Now, the question is, do you go for somebody with a wide-eyed principle? Do you promote Ephraim Banda, who got some run in other spots as a DC? I will tell you, because they've got – and it's funny because when you say four-man front, everybody just kind of assumes every four-man front is the same. The casual fans do. It's like the wide nine is such a specialized, kind of deal. This is not the same thing as just going from one four-man front D coordinator to another. And that matters because part of why keeping Jim is so important, and I want to hear what you guys say on this, part of what makes it so important is you've got a lot of guys who are really baked into this defense, who fit, who are wide nine specific personnel. And if you have a different guy that runs a different front, or maybe it's less of an attacking front, all of a sudden now your defense could take a step back in order to take a step forward in the future. That is what scares me in the intermediate, because I promise this is not Browns homerism. It's not my Coors Banquet talking. They are a good offensive line and a number one wide receiver away from being a competent, and I say competent, offense.
Yeah.
I think you can find a competent quarterback anywhere at any point. It's getting that guy to repeat it over 2 years. It seems to be the problem. But it's not hard to find competent play, even if they really like Deshaun, Shador, and Dylan Gabriel. To me, it's about can you boost that O-line and wide receiver? Because if you do, honestly, it's not hard to get to 7 and 8 or 7 and 10, 8 and 9, 9 and 8 from here. As early as next year, they can take a jump in competitiveness, and I think Todd Monken is going to need that. Because he's going to have a lot of people, if he's 5 and 12 again next year, saying, "Why the hell we hired this guy?"
Well, and you've already got people who are screaming for Kevin Stefanski to get fired that are questioning that decision at this point. But just to go to that wide nine thing, here's where I think you or people that are worried about it should have a little bit of kind of take solace in this. Myles Garrett is only going in a wide nine. That's his favorite place to be. He is not. You're not going to start telling him he's got to scoot in. He can't attack from those wide angles from the outside, and he can't move up and down the line and all that. I think whoever comes in to coach is going to have to understand what they've built, and it's specific. So I think they're going to have to be good on the interview front to know. My buddy Fred Greetham brought this up earlier. It's all the way down, not even just from the front and the attacking front of the defense, but look at the move they made. Look at the trade they made when they sent Greg Newsome out to bring in Campbell. It's because they run a man defense, and Campbell's better at man and Newsome's better at zone, even though that comes into question after what he did in Jacksonville. But this is part of what makes me think cooler heads can prevail in the Jim Schwartz situation. This defense is built for him. And unless some other, I don't know who else is going to come out and say, well, come here and it'll be better. And maybe he's just mad enough to do it. But I feel like when cooler heads prevail, he's going to look and go, I might not have got that job, but that defense is built for me. And I can go have another great defensive year. And maybe the offense gets it together and the Browns are competent. And then maybe I can give the head coaching run another chance. Like, I agree that it's a concern, but I do think player-wise, you're pretty pigeonholed into running it the way the players like to run it. You're going to have to do that if you're the defensive coordinator for the Browns.
Okay. I mean, I obviously don't know enough names out there that would fit into this scheme, but say Schwartz does leave, doesn't it make it easy to find the names of guys that really get into that scheme, really like that scheme? Like, to me, this offseason for the Browns, Nick, you mentioned offensive line and number one wide receiver. This is the most clear-cut, like, offseason plan that I think the Browns have had going into an offseason. Right. And so this would just add to it because, if you go in and you have to find a new defensive coordinator, what scheme that these guys are successful in. So doesn't it at least, and not to say that like the names are going to go, that all the names that run that scheme are going to jump at the chance and say, yeah. I don't know. It seems like a clear-cut plan to me. So if Schwartz does go, like, I don't know. I guess I'm just not worried about whoever the next guy is that they bring in here, because it's kind of written in black and white for you as to what you need to do with these guys.
I think the only concern is if the Schwartz leaving open up a discontent Miles again. And I know, I know he got a new contract, and I know that there's cap ramifications here, but I do think, and again, if it's me, I go to the Browns, and if I'm the Browns, I go to Miles and say, recruit your boy for us, like help Monken reel Schwartz back in. But I do think there's danger in a discontent Miles, just because I don't think those rumors at the trade deadline about teams offering 3 first rounders, I don't think that was out there by accident. Whether that was Miles people putting it out there or the Browns people, like, I don't know if I don't know enough about the intricacies of that relationship. I think someone from the Browns or Miles camp wanted that stuff out there as a file it away for another moment as soon as March. So I think that would be one interesting thing here, although I'm not calling for that. I'm just saying that could be something to watch.
Yeah, well, listen, that you never know. You never know when.
Did I just give everybody anxiety? I'm so sorry if I did.
No, you just never know when the next thing's going to come. There should be no anxiety with Myles Garrett, though, because they can't trade him. It's fine. They do you'll have to trade everybody else if you trade Myles Garrett. So that can't happen. I do love what you said, though. Honestly, I think my preferred thing here, if Jim Schwartz, I don't care whether they communicated with him every day. At one point they told him, if you don't get this job, we want you to be the DC. And if he's gonna take his blankie and walk out the front door, storming out of there because he didn't get the job, I'm not that mad about it. But I'm all in. Go ahead and just give me Ephraim Banda. Make sure Tarver is still on this staff, because he's worked wonders as a linebackers coach, and build a staff around there. And I think it kind of almost does. I think it almost kind of solves two things that people are concerned about, Nick. I think one, it's you just hired a 60-year-old head coach. He's not going to be around that long. I don't mean alive. I hope he's alive for plenty of time. But it
sounded like you were trying to unalive him.
Yeah, he's gonna die.
We were all thinking it.
Todd's gonna die.
Long life for you, Todd. You're all good, man.
He's got to 63 tops. I think we all know it. We've seen the cardiologist scores here. Come on now.
Yeah, and the Browns are going to be 15-2. that season when he does that.
I'm going to need to see the medicals. But it gives you, I think Banda's, 45?
44, like
44, 45. He's the younger guy. Tarver's 51, I think. It kind of gives you the younger side on that side of the ball. We don't know what's going to happen at the offensive coordinator position still. That'll be a Monken thing. But it also gives you the continuity of, okay, well, these guys know how this system works, and they're ready to roll in it. That, to me, I don't know that I think this is that hard of a situation. If Schwartz is going to storm off, I think your answers. We were talking about being concerned about losing Banda to another team that's looking for defensive coordinators, things like that. Well, all right, cool. Stay here, be our DC. I'm all good with that. Like, I think the solution is easy and it's in-house. I don't feel that bad about it.
All right, I've waited about 33 minutes now. I need to know, what did I have you screaming at the radio about?
Okay, you always do this to me, and it's okay. Sorry. We have disagreements. I'm okay with it. When it comes to sports on many things, and actually one of our commenters, I wish I could pull it up. This right here. This is a little bit of a Nick Wilson comment. I don't know how you give this organization the benefit of the doubt after being the laughingstock of the league for the last 26 years.
It's not me, by the way.
I know that's not you. But you hit me with it on a TikTok video on the benefit of the doubt. And I think there's a little bit of a fallacy there. And it's what always gets me worked up, because I don't ever give them the benefit of the doubt. But I judge things more in a vacuum, because I've seen it in sports over and over and over again. Good teams become bad teams become good. And sometimes the bad lasts for a really long time, but then it becomes good. And sometimes the good's really good for a long time and it becomes bad. And it's a cyclical thing no matter what it is. And you said it even, I can't remember, one of your callers came in and gave you a real hard time. It was right before Albert Breer, which, by the way, was a fantastic interview that you guys did yesterday. But it was right before that you had a caller call in and just rip you guys, and it was very funny. But every time you bring up the benefit of the doubt from the last 26 years, I'm like, I The last 26 years means nothing to me. It's not every move they make, I can judge in a vacuum. I can judge and say, okay, well, here's why I think it's good and here's why I think it's bad, because every move they make has a potential to alter that time frame. And just because it was bad 10 years ago or 15 years ago or whatever doesn't mean it's going to be bad again. So that's you get me a little worked up and fired up every time we talk about benefit of the doubt, because it's not that. It's just judging moves as we judge them.
Well, I think that's fair. And I think this iteration of the Browns organization is much better about acting like the adult in the room. The problem continues to come down to results. Like I tend to agree with you that most of sports is cyclical. The Browns have been so one-sided. And in fairness, I probably shouldn't hold them against things that happened with Randy Lerner. But if I just go and just judge them off the Jimmy Haslam years, they've had plenty of times where it's like, this is a logical thing that we're doing. And, I get caught up in this with a lot of our friends in the analytics community who go so hard of like, well, you can defend what they're doing, so therefore they don't deserve your criticism. At some point, I need results. And this league is built on parity. So when Kevin and Andrew come in with a starting quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, the interior line was good. They needed tackles, pieces on defense that, you kind of just needed to surround them with depth and maybe a couple other starters. They walked into a golden situation, and we're talking about 2 winning seasons in 6 seasons.
Yeah.
That's just not enough to look at this and go, okay, well, big picture since 2013, how are you and the Jets habitually the teams? Every team cycled in and out. The Bucks were right there with the Browns and Jets. It's just, oh my God, what stupid organizations. The Jets have risen and flourished, even if they've hit kind of a mid-peak. The Raiders are another team that's had a little ebb and flow here and there. Everybody else's ebb and flow is, all right, maybe we're going to win, 2 games here, 4 games here. And we're going to have 7 and 9 and then 10 win, and then back to media. With this one, it's just been such a cycle of suck that you just kind of go, well, at some point, something's got to be here.
Right.
There's got to be a reason why your ebb and flow is just, well, we're a 2-win team here and we're a 5-win team there.
Yeah. That sounds more like ebbs.
Yes. Just no flows. Just ebbs.
Just ebbs. Yeah, I mean, but really, though, I mean, the only analytic that matters is wins. That's all it is. But I mean, you could just, like you said, you could justify anything that you want to, and I'll agree with you. Like, it all makes sense, but in the end, when you don't see results, it's a failure, regardless of how how much sense it makes.
Yeah,
it's impossible.
I think, real quick, I think, sorry, buddy.
No.
I think one of the reasons why it matters is that I've seen this in baseball, where I've seen this Ivy League push into baseball, and certainly you see it in the NFL and other sports, but baseball is the biggest one, where you have these GMs come out and they're like, in a 10-year period, if we make the playoff, if we're above 500 5 times, that's a win for us. And it's like, I understand statistically what you're saying, but as an organization, to have that be the messaging just feels antithetical to sports. And so the Browns themselves have developed this arrogance is a little heavy-handed, but there's an arrogance to it of like, well, why the hell are you asking me? And it's like, well, because Chet, you just had a 3-win season and a 5-win season, and I was told that the process wasn't going to lead me here. So you know what I mean? Like I think you're onto something. I do, and I will say I lean on that a little too heavily about the lack of benefit of the doubt. But I almost see this courtesy extended to the Browns from some media members of like, no, they've got this covered. Why are we questioning them? And I'm like, I'll be honest. If they were where the Steelers are, I'd question them all the time. That's who I am as a person. But when you habitually say things and they turn out to not be true or just be wrong, at some point somebody's got to hold their hand up and go, hey, I liked all these things in a vacuum, but can you sort it the F out?
It's so much, and you know this is taking calls. I know this dealing with people on Twitter and all that. It expounds upon itself, and then it's And then it's these narratives of things that aren't really happening, but you almost can't even argue. Like, I just want critical thought to always be involved in everything. And you almost can't even argue certain things, because then people are just going to be like, well, no, it's the Browns. Of course they're doing the worst possible thing. And yeah, they have been calling them the armpit of the NFL they've been the butthole of the NFL.
Yeah.
It is what they are. And
I don't know. Some people like the butthole from what I hear on the internet.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah.
It is a thing.
It seems to be more of like the younger generation. Our generation, had reverence for other body parts, but
yeah.
Let me just take a note here.
That's why I'm stuck here in the boiler room. No.
That's true.
Oh, God. I don't know, Nick. Just before we let you out of here, just last thing for me. You've talked a lot about this today. I'm sure it's exhausting. That LeBron coming back. Although, did you see him crying at the intro? That was awesome. God, I love that.
I did. Is that because he's leaving? I'm insecure. I need him. Please come home, LeBron.
Please, LeBron.
How many intros are we going to do?
Breaking news. Breaking news.
He's been
he
back.
will leave. He will leave Cleveland tonight. I'm just letting everybody know now. He's leaving Cleveland tonight.
God, you're such
a downer to end this on.
Sorry. Sorry. For the fifth time.
You've taken a lot of calls. You've heard a lot of angles upon this. You've talked to a lot of people. You've interviewed people, Nick, all that. Is there an element to this that you feel like is being undertalked? Is there something right now going on with Todd Monken, with the new coaching approach, all that you feel like everybody's focused over here when there maybe is a thing over here we should be talking about?
Yeah, I don't think anyone's focusing on Todd actual Monken. I think the change in leadership from Todd, who is a very straightforward, direct, tough love coach, to Kevin Stefanski, you would call that a leader of men. Like, that was one of the things that I think, like when I say leader of men, I want somebody that will communicate, somebody that is not afraid to criticize if it's coming from the right place, and somebody who's just a thorough communicator and somebody who holds people accountable. And I don't want to say Kevin didn't do that, but I think Kevin, at least within the thought partnership, there were things where I thought Kevin deferred too much. And I think that happened in the locker room, the player-led locker room. That's a very hip thing. That's a very young thing. And I think it's important that players have a leadership role. They can't be in charge of it all unless you have 5 Ray Lewises in your locker room ready to stab somebody if they don't, do things the right way. So I think the leadership thing is interesting. And just in general, I think you're going to see this hire amongst Browns fans age well over the next week. Because I think a lot of us look at this and go, well, if Jimmy and Andrew aren't aligned, or if this is a compromise candidate, or if this is this, or if this is whatever, or if we lose Schwartz, there's a lot of noise around this hire that I think is going to subside. And I think that's good, because if you look at Todd Monken, he is so much more qualified for this job than Nate Scheelhaase was, or Grant Udinski. Would not have been my hire. There were other guys I liked. I actually did like Mike McDaniel a lot, and he kind of paced out. I just thought his run game here would be so much fun to watch. I will be honest, I have a devotion to that Shanahan, that we're going to give you the same looks, and then from that, that trip set, we're going to do 15 different plays.
Yeah.
Yes.
Love it. That's just football porn to me, and then they marry it with awesome blocking concepts. All that being said, I think once fans hear Todd Monken, I think they're going to hear more of what they've been missing the last 6 years with Kevin. It's going to be interesting to see how that locker room takes it, because they have not had a lot of what Todd has done across the board. A little bit with Jim Schwartz. So I think this is good. I think football players like to be coached. I think football players, they don't want you to be a hard-on, but they do want you to get up and tell them how to do it right. So I think all of that's not being talked about enough. And again, I think sometime next week we're going to get Todd's press conference. And I think by the time that guy hits the microphone, provided he doesn't go full Nick Sirianni,
oh, no.
provided that, I think you're going to see a lot of Browns fans come around to this hire. Because here's the thing. Wouldn't have been my hire. I'm incredibly open-minded, because the Browns are not that far away. And people saying that they're that far away, I think it's just the negative bullshit you were talking about. And it does drive me crazy when, my brethren just goes to, well, it's the Browns. It's like they got a great defense. They need a couple pieces, all of which they can get this offseason. I really think one offseason from now, if you do this offseason right, the people are going to be thinking about Monken completely different. So I think that's a long, rambling answer, and I hope I answered your fucking question.
I think I have one little last thing to say about that, but here's the thing, Nick. Like, I know it feels like we've been close forever, right? But to me, and I think that's why a lot of people are just so frustrated, right? Like, it feels like we've been so close in years past, but it always seems like no matter what situation the Browns find themselves in, the talented rosters, the 0-16 teams, like it never seems to culminate in anything. So it kind of feels like it's never going to. It's been 26 years of it. It kind of feels like it's never going to. So I don't. Can you blame Browns fans for that?
No.
And listen, I also think we're living in an era of social media has gotten to the nth degree of nastiness, and it has siphoned a lot of the empathy and love that we have. And then so much of guys, I wanted them to win those last two games this year.
For sure.
It's not that Fernando Mendoza wouldn't have been fun to watch here. He's a total goofball, but he would have been fun to watch. It would have been exciting to have. But there's this zero-sum, cynical aspect to sports that it's ripped the emotion and fan. It's no longer hip to be a fan, right? You have to be, I'm analytical and I'm emotionless. And it's like, dude, I'll be honest with you. I don't mind. I'll be honest with you. My best decisions in life, more often than not, have been when I've removed emotion from them and when I've made life decisions based off facts and reason. I've also had a lot of fun times being an emotionally stunted dipshit. So the point is, though, sports are the one place you're supposed to be able to have that. And I think we've all gotten too much into, I'm here to win championships and beat our chest just fucking cavemen. That I think just in general, people have lost the plot of what it means to be a fan. And so I don't think we're that far off. And I think that hope, because I think that's something that we in Cleveland, now I'm going to pound my chest on this. I am so proud that the eternal optimist and optimism of real Cleveland sports fans, not how we present on social media. Oh, we're too cool to be bothered. And I only care about winning championships and all that horse shit. But the real optimism that my mechanic, when I said, hey, this quarterback room's probably getting us 5 wins this year. My mechanic's like hell, I'm getting 8 wins this year. I'm getting 9 wins. And honestly, fan Nick was like, hell yeah, let's get 9 wins. Why not, right? And so I just think I kind of went off on a soapbox there, but I do think I think so much of that cynicism and stuff, it just doesn't help being a Browns fan. And I agree with it. All that 26 years of baggage is real. It's so real, and it pops its head up. But I don't think we're going back to 0-16 ever again.
No.
I think Jimmy learned his lesson, and that, to me, that's all I need. I need you to try and win every game every year, and the quarterback thing will sort itself out if you're just not doing dumb shit every year.
Yeah, it's fair. What you did right there, Nick. So we do a segment on the show at the midway point of all of our shows called Asshole of the Week, where we just call somebody out for being an asshole this week. And you walked me right into my asshole of the week, so I'm going to say it while you're on the show, and then we're going to let you go. My asshole of the week this week are all the people today that decided they needed to publicly renounce their fandom of the Cleveland Browns. Yeah. I'm not a fan of this team anymore. I'm like, you're an adult man. Nobody gives a shit. Plus, we'll see you week 1. We know we're going to see you week 1. All these people putting up polls. What team should I be a fan of now? Shut up and be a Browns fan. We all know you're going to be.
You're going to be sitting at the bar.
We're not leaving this because there's always the chance that we suffered all this time and it's going to be worth it someday. You're not going to leave it. We know you're not going to leave it. Quit acting like a bitch online. That is my asshole of the week.
I love every bit about that. I'm not gonna name names. But I can't tell you it's not my co-host. But somebody I work with today, at the beginning of this, defiantly said, "I'm going to be a Lions fan."
Oh,
And at 7 o'clock, what a trendy prick, right?
Yeah.
And so at 7 o'clock, and I give Peter Lynn credit for this. At 7 o'clock, Peter Lynn said, "You still going to be a Lions fan?" And he went, "Well, no, I was just mad in the moment." It was like, yeah, that's what we fucking thought.
So emotional.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Well, Nick Wilson, man, it was so fun. Thank you. You responded to my text right away, as you always do. And thank you for coming on and hanging out with us and having a little high life or having a banquet beer with us and just hanging out, talking Browns. I know you did it all day today, so I know the ask to do it more at night is a lot, but we appreciate you for coming on. We appreciate you for doing it and for just having a good time with us tonight here on Garage Beers.
Gentlemen, seriously, keep up what you're doing. Every expression of our fandom makes us all stronger and a more tight-knit community. So you guys keep it up. You do a great job, and I appreciate you guys. I really do.
Nick, we appreciate you. Go get some rest, and we'll be tuned in. I'll be yelling at my phone next time I listen to you.
Text me that shit talk this time.
Yeah, right.
I will. All right,
see you guys.
Nick.
See you, Nick.
Nick Wilson, Afternoon Drive Show, 92.3 The Fan. I love that guy. I love having him on. And I was sitting here thinking for a guest today who's just going to be entertaining.
Good guy.
I don't need a guy to give me all the in-depth dive-in shit. We just want to
have some beers and have a good time, guys.
I need
That's all
somebody
we
to
wanna do.
drink some beers and talk about the new Browns coach. And Nick's just such a good person to do that with. So big shout out to Nick Wilson for doing that. All right, guys, we're in Asshole of the Week. I've already done my Asshole of the Week. Why don't you guys do your Asshole of the Week? And then we'll dive into our next topics.
Oh, he's gone.
He's peacing out.
All right. Well, Joe, what do you got?
Asshole of the Week. We do like once a month. We do like a little like vintage market. My wife puts a booth together does like home decor and stuff there. So we did it out in Tacoma this month, and it was the first time I ever got approached about a pyramid scheme in public.
What? Really?
Like, we're just, two of us are working the booth. We're slinging out, deals and, Grandpa's clock and all that stuff.
Okay.
This guy comes in, he just, starts chatting me up, just talking and talking and talking.
Like,
Eventually
wow, he's a
gets to
nice
points
guy.
like, hey, like, my wife and I have, this really digital marketing strategy that's growing like crazy. And, would love to like, call you sometime and talk to you about it. And I was like, look, man,
No.
I don't think so. I'm also in Seattle. There's a lot of techie stuff out here. Maybe it's a startup. Send me the information. I will let you know if we can have a phone call. So he sends me a voice note, and he's like, yeah, this is like a lifestyle brand. Like, we're thinking about everything you buy, like that you ingest, that you clean your house with. And I'm like, oh fuck, I did it. No. So I left him on red, and I will not talk to him again. But like, also, don't take 20 minutes of my time while we're working a booth and then not buy anything.
Oh yeah, seriously.
Come on. I could have been talking to other people or help. It's just like, come on.
You went to a farmer's market to recruit? There's people there looking to make money, bro.
Well, you and your wife look like real entrepreneurial types. I was like, not your type. Trust me. I got a job. I'm good. I work in music. Like, I don't need this.
Yeah, man. And when you just build your team, you have a chance to make that much more money. It's great, right?
Yeah, it's an infinite possibility with this opportunity. Oh my gosh. I mean, we had my roommate got stuck in one in college for a little bit and actually invited the guy over to our apartment to take the meeting. And I was like, you're an idiot. Just say
did you slap him? Please tell me you slapped him.
I punched him. Are you kidding me?
Did you hear that, Mike?
I did. Yes.
Oh yeah, good.
Idiot.
Yeah.
Idiot. Idiot.
I remember. I think Joe told us that story when it happened, and super dumb.
I literally have it in my phone as Austin pyramid scheme. Just so I remember. Each time he calls, it is Austin pyramid scheme.
Let's go.
From the Tacoma fleet.
Sorry, boys.
You had to pee. I bet you had to piss real bad.
It's been since like 10 o'clock this morning. I just have had no time. I've had
You
no
did-
time. Look,
No
haven't
time
pissed
to pee
since
since 10 o'clock this
You
morning.
haven't pissed
No.
since 10 o'clock this morning?
and my teeth were floating up into my head. It's been a whole situation.
I'm gonna get you a Gatorade bottle for that desk there, man.
Chad, did you do yours?
No, I did not.
What's your asshole of the week?
It's a bit of a delayed one because, like, I feel like I really haven't. I don't think maybe have I missed the last 2 episodes, like 2 episodes before this. Like, I feel it's a bit of a delayed.
The last one.
Yeah, asshole of the week. And my asshole of the week was like all the people that were given that woman from the Jacksonville Free Press shit for giving a positive affirmation to Liam Cohen
Oh yeah.
after that game. Like there's nothing wrong with telling a coach like you did a great job.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
I know you got to make your deadlines. I know you got to make your deadlines, and I know. Oh, like, but it was just kind of bullshit to me that they were like, "Oh, well, this isn't a place to talk. We only have 30 seconds to ask a question." No, give it a rest. Give it a rest, you uptight assholes. All right, you're going to make your deadline. You're going to get enough. You're going to get your quotes to make your story. What the hell's wrong with someone giving an NFL coach a little love after the game? That's all.
I think that's a great one, Chad. And also, like, literally from ball, I was like, this guy's a scrub. And
Scrub.
at the end of the day, like, he put together a great season with that Jacksonville team. Like, I think we were all just like shocked at how well that team overperformed.
Yeah.
So, yeah, great season.
Yeah, like, this guy's a fucking nerd, but wait, he went 11-5 or 11-6. Awesome.
Now, if you go to Stefanski at the end of the season, like, oh, great season, that was awesome. And he might get a little shit for that.
Yeah, we need. Yeah, but we're just gonna get better. We're just gonna get better.
All right, boys, let's talk about things not asshole related, and let's move on to our last half hour of the show, where we're just going to kind of do some quick hitters, maybe 10 minutes on each topic. But we'd be remiss if I would be remiss if we didn't talk about this. We're getting ready to talk about Guardians baseball. It's not been a thrilling offseason, but it's what we expect at this point. There is no, outside of the fact that they had some money that they could have spent and they just didn't.
Equipment trucks leave tomorrow.
This doesn't fix it for me.
No, absolutely not.
However, we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about Jose Ramirez and another extension that keeps Jose Ramirez in Cleveland until 2032, I believe. It's unfair to even call it a team-friendly deal. It's just a guy that likes playing baseball and he doesn't want to move, basically, is the situation that's going on here.
It's a perfect marriage. Jose hates money and the Guardians hate spending it.
I've said it forever. I am under no impression. I don't think professional athletes need to be loyal to anything. I think it's a made-up thing because we're emotional as fans. But I don't need to be loyal to my job. You don't need to be loyal to your job. Professional athletes don't need to be loyal to their job. They can go where they want to go, earn as much money as they want to earn. It is what it is. Having said that, Jose Ramirez has no desire to do any of that, and loyalty is a thing for him. And man, oh man, there's a thing with Jose Ramirez that the Cleveland Guardians stuck with him when they were the Indians. When he was looked at as being nothing more than just maybe a utility guy. That's what Jose was when he came up, was like, maybe he's a little, he was a little guy. He was little and he was going to be a utility guy.
Yeah.
And he's turned into a guy that's never going to win an MVP, which is an absolute shame because every year he's got to match up with Aaron Judge hitting 65 bombs and 140 RBIs or whatever. But guys, it doesn't make up for the fact that they did not improve the team at all in any stretch. But man, oh man, I want to appreciate greatness when I'm looking at it. And I don't know that there's much more greatness happening in Cleveland than Jose Ramirez.
I mean, he's got a chance, and I don't think it's a small chance to be the most iconic, iconic Guardian of all time. I think forever a fan favorite. I mean, hell, honestly, we should start a GoFundMe page for him and just give him like the rest of the money he deserves. Because, like, or buy jerseys from. I don't know how we can get him more money specifically and not the Dolans, but like, man, I mean, we are just so like this will never happen again. Never happen again. Especially with the new, the lockout that we'll have next year. Like this type of situation where you have a player, which I'm curious if that had anything to do with why he extended this year. But we'll never have a player that is this team friendly, that loves a city like Jose does, that is taking cuts on his fortune for himself and his family for generations. Not that he hasn't made a lot of money, but somebody of his calibers, you're getting those like $500,000 contracts, or close, maybe close to because he's a little older.
Billy,
Half
I
Billy,
think is what
sorry.
you meant.
Billy.
With the B.
Yeah.
With
With
a
the
B.
With the B. But man, we're just so lucky to have him.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a guy that deserves a statue right now, it's him. Like
Yeah,
Sean
put
said,
it up.
like Sean said, make him the first active player to get a statue, because I mean, it's everything that you guys just said and more, right? Like he's a guy. I mean, we, especially in this city, man, we love a guy that's loyal to Cleveland, right? If there's a guy that just works hard, doesn't really talk much, but he's an incredible athlete. Like Jose Ramirez is that guy. Like he embodies everything that Cleveland is, right?
He's also the perfect role model.
He is.
Yeah.
He is.
He goes out maximum effort every night. You never have to question it. He never big times anything.
No.
If like I watch some of these rookies go out and like jog something out, and I'm like, do you know you're on a team with Jose fucking Ramirez?
Yeah.
Like, do not jog ever.
He leads the league in helmets falling off every stolen base. Like
Yeah.
he does that every time. Like or when he legs out a triple. Like he's not. I don't know. I think he might be. Well, I wouldn't say more popular, but from Cleveland athletes, he's got to be in that top 10 range, top 15, top 10 range of Cleveland athletes of all time.
Oh, listen. I'm only going to talk about my lifetime.
Yeah,
I'm only going to talk about my lifetime.
True.
Because
true,
I didn't live.
true.
I didn't live through Jim Brown and all that shit.
Yeah,
But
of our lifetime.
my lifetime, LeBron's number one.
Yeah.
He won a championship for Cleveland.
Yeah.
And he's from here. And he was he did a lot of good.
Yeah.
Joe Thomas is in the top 5. Bernie is probably in the top 5. Jose, Jim Thome, those guys, like,
Yeah.
Jose is up there with the greatest Guardians of my lifetime. And it's even almost more so because what he is doing to stay here is nobody's ever done it. Nobody's ever done what he's doing to stay here.
And let me tell you something right now, from a front office standpoint, you better hope that one of these years, everything, the stars align and you catch that lightning in a bottle and it turns into a World Series. Because right now, I like, despite all of the division titles, and Mike, you yell about this all the time, despite all the division titles, if one of these years that you have Jose doesn't turn into a World Series, you're going to be known as the front office that wasted a future Hall of Famer's career. You are, because this bullshit. I mean, I'm sure we're going to get into this anyway, because this bullshit of you not even trying to put talent around him and relying on the young guys to development. You better hope that this turns into one World Series, because it's going to be, the Guardians won all those division titles all those years, but they didn't do anything to help Jose out. And he deserves it. He deserves a World Series. He deserves the world and more. So while I'm glad he's here, and I'm so happy that he's here, I'm over the moon that he's here. I love him forever. From a team standpoint, they better hope one of these years turns into a championship.
Yeah, you ain't wrong.
Listen, and it just goes to this year, and I have no hope for that, Chad. It's why I cannot wait for the lockout.
Yeah,
it's the first time I've ever said it in my whole life. First time I've ever said it in my whole life. I cannot wait for the lockout.
Yeah,
because never has a salary cap been more in demand.
Oh my God.
And I actually have confidence that they're going to do it.
Yeah.
I think
Eventually.
I think 2027, it's going to be the breaking point. When you got the Yankees complaining that other teams are spending too much, time for a salary cap.
Yeah.
Having said that, again, we went in and KW says it in the comments. It would literally take a miracle for a small market team to win. You're not wrong, KW.
No,
because it never happens, ever.
You're gonna do it based like if half the Dodgers get injured, and
well, Kansas City did it in 2015, but they were a mid-market team that year. They were middle of the pack salary that year, middle of the pack.
Now, I'm not saying like the competitive balance needs to be completely even throughout, but we shouldn't be stuck in a system here where it's the Dodgers, the Mets, and then everybody else.
The Guardians. Listen,
like, I don't
want to get totally into it, but the Guardians get like $100 million every year from revenue sharing. That should have to go to the roster.
Yeah.
Right now, their roster projection is like $60 million, and you're coming off a year where you're going to get salary cap relief from Clase because you're never going to see him pitch again. You're going to get salary cap relief from Ortiz because you're never going to see him pitch again. We went into this offseason going, all right, well, they're not going to be like a big spender, but they're going to have like $30 to $35 million to spend this offseason. And then here comes Paul fucking Dolan, who goes, well, I'll take that. That's my money. And that's it. Imagine having a payroll that you haven't seen since like 1992. It's unacceptable. And baseball needs a salary cap, and it is a baseball issue. But here's what I will say. It's a baseball issue at the top. When you have one team that is making the other top teams go, we can't even keep up with this. That issue is at the top. The Guardians' issue is at their level. If you can't even be like relatively competitive in the situation, you shouldn't own the team. You shouldn't own the team.
Well, and you'll also have, this will be so interesting to see how it goes because obviously there's a salary floor discussion to this as well, which the Dolans are going to be adamantly against.
That's the problem, is that our team's going to be fighting what's going to help us.
Do you get both? Do you get one or the other?
You're going to get both.
You can't. Well, you can do both. You can absolutely do a floor and a cap.
No, you're going to do both. That's what's going to happen.
Oh, I don't think the floor is guaranteed.
Oh, but I think I think there's a legal element to it that if you put in a cap, you have to put in a floor.
Because at the end of the day, the owners are going to have some united front against the players' union who are going against the salary cap.
But
that's what this battle is going to be.
That's the issue for us as Cleveland fans, is that there is hope that they're going to install a cap, but it's going to be our goddamn team that's going to be fighting it. Because with the cap, it's going to come a floor.
There's two things. The owners have to align on both of them. They are separate from each
other. But a cap, in like all sports, a cap comes with a floor. It is what you're not just going to instill a cap but no floor. You're going to do a cap and a floor. That's how you're going to get. That's how you'll get the Players Association at least semi bought in on it. It'll never happen without the floor. That is what kills me. Is the cap is what's going to help all the teams, but our team is going to fight it because of the floor.
Yeah, I think eventually they're going to figure something out because especially the players, right? I think especially the higher paying ones, I think they know that this sport can't survive under the current structure. So I think they're going to figure some sort of system out where the top guys are still going to get their money, right? Are still going to get paid while shifting that floor to make things a little bit more competitive. And I mean, I think in 2028, I think Blitzer takes over anyways.
Yep.
So
but I agree, but I read somebody wrote a great article. I don't remember who it is, and that's my fault, but I read all the way through it. And yes, that's nice, but also that Blitzer group owns 17 professional sports teams. Like they're not like super invested. They'll put some money in, but
listen, any money is going to be good. Okay. any money is going to be good. Listen, like any rational Guardians fan is going to know, can tell you that they're not, no, any rational Guardians fan knows that they're not going to be big spenders. But if they can just,
But again, this is the other issue. You've got the owner that can't even name 4 players on the team, who has come out and said, like, oh, but we just need the attendance. We need people to show up. Well, they were setting attendance records last year. Like, they had a ton of people show up to games last year, and you're still not going to spend. And you're still not. You're going to take salary cuts this year. Stephen Kwan has to go into arbitration. Is that really what we're doing right now? Is you can't extend Stephen Kwan? And I know they do these extensions with Jose Ramirez, which, by the way, they have deferred money, so his annual value has gone down. They're saving money on this extension.
Yeah.
They are saving money, and they're not going to put it anywhere else. They are just cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting. And we're supposed to act like it's okay. When we won the division last year, when we won a playoff series the year before, you should be trying to build on this. This is the time where you promised us. Fans are showing up. The team is good, and you promised us you would do some sort of spending at this point to accentuate what you already have. And it's all a lie. It's all a lie. And then I have to watch Chris Antonetti go on TV and say, well, if we spend money, if we bring in somebody in free agency, we have to really think about, well, who's that going to block in our system? Well, guess what? If they're good enough to block somebody in the system, then the person in the system isn't good enough, and you have a better player. It's a bullshit loser attitude. It is a loser attitude. And
Company man right there, Chris. Company man.
It's a loser attitude, and it sucks because they should be the glimmer in all of our eyes. These guys, they should be the glimmer in all of our eyes based on how they have succeeded in spite of their owner actively sabotaging them. and yet they come out and say shit like that,
which doesn't make sense to begin with, because they love holding on to those internal pieces in the minors anyway. They don't want to. Right. They don't want to lose years of control in the minors. So what does that matter? There are so many pieces out there. There are 5-year, $40 million, $50 million guys you can have every year, like Marcelo Zuna. Eugenio Suarez makes all the sense in the world for this lineup to protect Jose Ramirez in the lineup. They make all the sense in the world, and you can have these guys for 1 year, $20 million, $50, whatever. But they're not going to do it because they don't want to. That's simply it. They don't want to. They don't want to give up the money. It's insane to me.
This was meant to be a tribute to Jose Ramirez, and it always devolves into this. But I think it's because of our passion for Jose Ramirez that it does devolve into this, because your original point, Chad, is I think the point that stands true, which is you have to give this guy a fair shot to win a World Series. I know they got close in 2016. That was 10 years ago, guys. That was a decade ago. And I know you've won. I know since 2013 or whatever, the Guardians are top 5 in regular season wins in baseball, but they're not nearly top 5 in playoff wins. And you have to give yourself a chance to get this dude a ring. Give yourself to get this dude a ring. Give yourself a chance. You have to. All right. Again, we're just going to do real quick hitters, but 2 of our teams that we talk, I kind of want to hit on all of our 4 major sports teams.
Yeah.
We've done the Browns forever. And we've talked a bit about the Guardians. I cannot wait for you guys to see our one of our special guests for episode 300 next year. I have goosebumps. It was awesome.
Next week.
Was
it so good? Was it so good?
It was so good. But let's talk about, we have 2 teams that we cover on this show that have had bumpy roads this season. But we also have 2 teams that we cover on this show that those bumpy roads have smoothed out a little bit recently. And they've played
same teams
significantly better. And so, guys, let's start down in Columbus with the Blue Jackets, who got a good win again tonight Another regulation win. All of a sudden, they've got all these regulation wins. They couldn't buy one early in the season. But the Columbus Blue Jackets with another regulation win tonight, 5-3 over the Philadelphia Flyers. Chad, let me eat crow here for a minute. They fired Dean Evison.
Yeah.
Maybe I have a soft spot for Dean Evison because of how much fun we had with him in the offseason on our interview, because it was a blast.
Yeah.
And they bring in 70-year-old Bones.
Yeah, buddy.
70-year-old Rick Bowness.
That's right.
Who has kind of always gone places and done mediocre things for the most part of his career. But he's always gone to bad places and made them like less bad. And I wasn't thrilled. I was like, why are you firing a dude to bring in a 70-year-old coach? What are we doing here? What are we doing? And I complained about it. I was texting people with the Blue Jackets like, what's happening here? Why are we doing this? You talked me off the ledge. And apparently I was wrong, because apparently Rick Bowness has identified something with this team, and he's got them playing a brand of hockey that we kind of expected them to play this year. And all of a sudden, the Columbus Blue Jackets have like inserted themselves right into the thick of things.
Can't wait to talk to Bones about this. Hopefully we're getting him over the Olympic break.
Shh. Don't
sorry.
it.
He's put the fun back into this team. He's put the confidence back into this team. He's put the energy back into this team. This team has always been so talented. This team is too talented to be this bad. He's rejuvenated Elvis, right? He's known
Elvis talked about it. That interview that Elvis did after the game. Hey, what's different, Elvis? The coach.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. With new, I mean, you saw, the two goals that Elvis gave up tonight to make it a tie game, weren't soft goals, right? If Philadelphia earned those goals tonight, so it wasn't a typical Elvis meltdown, but like the pushback, the fight back in this team. I keep beating this dead horse every time in these recaps, but I just cannot get over the immediate turnaround this team has had ever since Bones has taken over. I haven't seen so many set plays as I have in these last few games. That Monahan goal to retake the lead, right? Just a couple of minutes later was awesome. Yes. Okay. It was awesome. Even though like the Flyers goalie Vladar, I think his name is, made a couple of great saves to prevent them from retaking the lead. That Monahan goal was awesome. And then, it is the pushback. I've never seen him so. I haven't seen since the Torts era. I haven't seen him so disciplined on defense either. This team has made a complete 180. I wish they weren't going on an Olympic break, because I wish they were going to keep playing.
There's benefits to that, though.
There is, because everybody. The only person that's going is Zach. You're right, Joey.
Yeah.
So they're going to work.
How much the team stays together, but like you have a little more time to instill Bones's ideology and his plays and his style over that month. I think that's a huge benefit, actually.
Yeah, this team has done a complete 180, and I cannot wait for the season to resume. I'm going to enjoy Olympic hockey. I'm going to enjoy the hell out of Olympic hockey, but I can't wait for this season to resume. It
just seems, you hit on it, and it seems like this has been the thing. And you chat underscore username old school fundamentals. Yeah. There is some of that, and there's a toughness to them, and there's a lot of those other things. But you said it, Chad, and the word for me, I think, is fun.
Yeah,
I did not see Rick Bowness coming in and just telling the guys to have fun. I think the game was it. Marchman had the hat trick the other night, right?
Yep.
And they gave him the hat, the hat after the game, and that was his thing. Was like he they all give a speech when they get the hat, and his speech in the locker room was, "Boys, we lost the fun. Let's just have fun." And he's like the new guy in the locker room, but like, just go out there and have fun and keep it up and play hard and just like act like we're having a good time. And like, how you let that slip away from a team, especially a young team, and you see under Bowness, you see all of a sudden you see these guys who I was ready to be done with Ken Johnson. Now I'm like, well, all right, Ken. Okay, buddy, you can stay for a while. Like, all of a sudden you just see these guys like they're enjoying the game of hockey again. And I wonder if hockey isn't the ultimate sport where you just need to be enjoying it to be good at it, because I feel like once they found the joy in hockey again, this Columbus Blue Jackets team, which was at the bottom of the Eastern Conference, is now just like right outside of the playoffs, right? And with a whole part of the season to go.
And they've been doing it against really good teams. Sometimes it just takes a simple thing, right? And what by that I mean, you see Bones encouraging guys on the bench and giving them pats on the back. That's like you haven't seen the last 4 coaches do that, right? It's sometimes something as simple as that to give a guy like, okay, like I want to go run through a wall for this guy, and that's what this team is doing for Bones, and it's a completely different brand of hockey, completely.
On the other side of things, while we're doing our quick hitters, let's talk about another team that has had a bumpy start to their season, that has underperformed the way the Columbus Blue Jackets have, but probably more so. But that is all of a sudden a team that has won, I believe, 13 of their last 17 games, and a team that all of a sudden is playing much more like the team that we thought they would be, and that's the Cleveland Cavaliers, who tonight welcomed LeBron James back into Cleveland with the Los Angeles Lakers and played a really tight first half, and then just dominated the Lakers in the second half. 129-99. They get a 30-point victory over LeBron James and the Lakers, and the Cleveland Cavaliers are all of a sudden playing like the team we thought they would be, but they're doing it in a way that I don't know we thought they would do it like. First of all, I think the most snake-bitten team in the NBA this year. Evan Mobley out again. Darius Garland, another fucking injured toe. I've never seen a guy
in his face, man.
I've never seen. Yeah, well, God, if
top,
one more
top
person,
and bottom are not good.
If one, oh, we don't mean that sexually. No.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
All right. I don't. Darius, the big toe on his other foot. What?
Yeah.
And Max Strus was supposed to be back in January, and then he gets pushed back 4 weeks, and Sam Merrill's out for a while, and it just is when one person comes back, another person goes out, and the Cavaliers have been playing tight. And to me, the thing that's been the most frustrating about the Cavaliers is defensively, they've been terrible. Terrible. And I don't know what clicked. I don't know what happened. But all of a sudden, they figured out the defensive side of the ball, especially recently. Again, the Lakers tonight, they hold them under 100, 99 points. I'm telling you, I've never seen a team play such bad defense as what the Cavs have played this year. They are helping for no reason. They are just coming off their guy to come off their guy, leaving dudes. Everybody's like, why is everybody shooting so well against the Cavs? It's because they're always wide open. Literally, they're always wide open. It's because for some reason, I don't mean to call out Donovan Mitchell. He is unbelievably great. But for some reason, Donovan Mitchell decided to come off his guy to double team the other team's point guard near the half court line. And the point guard just passed the ball to the other guy. Wide open three-pointer in. They have knocked that shit off over the last couple weeks. And they are playing much more sound defensively. And then, guys, this is my favorite thing about the Cavs this year. There is this influx. This Cavs team is supposed to be a veteran NBA championship contender. It's supposed to be Mobley and Allen and Garland and Mitchell and Strus. And off the bench, it's supposed to be Nance and Hutter and Merrill and these guys. And those are the guys that are supposed to get the time, right? And Jalen Tyson's a starter. And he has to be at this point. And you can't take him out. Like when these guys get healthy, Jalen Tyson has to be a starter. He's been a star. He's been a star. You talk about Proctor off the bench, kid they drafted this year out of Duke in the second round. You got to play this dude. He's what Lonzo Ball was supposed to be. He is. You got to play him. Naquan Tomlin. Who the fuck is Naquan Tomlin? You got to play him every night. You got to play him every night. He is he has been integral to the Cleveland Cavaliers and their recent success. It's one of my favorite things about the Cavs over the last month is they're not turning their season around. They're still unhealthy. They're turning their season around with these guys that nobody thought they were going to be a part of a contending roster. They were supposed to be the end of the bench guys. And they're the ones saving this season for the Cavaliers, along with Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley and whatever. But, like, it's these guys stepping up. It's been beautiful to see.
Yeah. Did you see JJ Redick complain about the Cavs court tonight?
I did not see it. No,
Yeah.
I've been on podcasts or interviews since 7 o'clock. So no.
I've been staying up to date, but apparently Luka rolled his ankle because he took a step back three, right? But he decided to hop like, I don't know, like an extra foot back and like fell off the raised court of the Cavs and rolled his ankle because of it. He did a step back three and he went like hopped all the way back completely off the Cavs raised court. And JJ Redick has a real problem with it.
As if every team doesn't have a raised court where if you hop back enough, you're going to fall off that shit.
He did. I'm going to laugh because I wish you would go and watch the clip right now because he did. He hopped like an extra, like, I don't, at least like a foot back. He's like, oh, yep. Ow! Ow!
Okay. All right.
Him and Jokic.
Yep. Nailed it.
Wow. They're the most awkward athletes in the world.
Yeah.
Like they're just like
they feel like slobs. Like they feel like they shouldn't be that athletic.
Yeah.
Jokic like especially. Doncic shed like 30 pounds last. He looks great. He looks like an athlete now. He didn't look like that last year. He looked like Uncle Ted out there shooting hoops.
Yeah, looks like you could find him at any Y.
He looked like, I'm going to send this to him. I'm going to send this clip to him. He looked like my buddy Marty. And my buddy Marty looks like a Marty. Red hair, red goatee. He used to have a beer belly, but he lost a ton of weight. Shout out to Marty. But I used to play basketball with Marty. And he was fucking unstoppable. And there was no reason for him to be unstoppable. He couldn't jump more than 2 inches off the ground. And all he did was back your ass down in the paint and shoot this turnaround jump shot that you should have blocked every time, but you couldn't block it. And it went in every time. That's what Doncic has been to me his whole, like, his career. It was just like, everybody should stop this guy, but nobody can. Now he looks like an athlete. Jokic, my favorite thing about Jokic is that he just wants to get back to Serbia and take care of his horses. That's all he gives a shit about. Are we going to watch this? Are we watching this live? Oh, my God. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's a lot of hoppies, buddy. That's a lot of hops.
Yeah.
No, listen. A great win for the Cavs tonight, and they are on their way. And we're approaching trade deadline time. And we saw this. I saw this comment from KW. Hunter is for sure gone, right? I think so. With Jalen Tyson playing the way he's playing. I don't want them to get rid of DeAndre Hunter. He had a good game actually tonight. I think he had like 19 points. But it's too few and far between. Lonzo Ball. See you, dude. There's just nowhere for you here. You can't come in here. You're the worst version of yourself here. You got to go. I don't know whether you're unhappy or what, but you got to go. Lonzo's got to go. Got to go. DeAndre Hunter probably has to go. And actually, those guys, if you could find a decent trade, can free up some cap space, which is great for the Cavs. And maybe you could bring in something for them. I wouldn't. Here's my thing. If you're a Cavs fan, I wouldn't get too excited about what's coming back. Probably not much. It's probably more cap relief than anything else. But Max Strus has to be getting close. You got Sam Merrill back tonight. I think. Yeah, he played tonight. You're going to get Garland back until somebody else hits him in the face. You're going to get Mobley back. Like, there is health coming to the Cavs, but go ahead and trade those guys. Having said that, the other news was LeBron James today back to Cleveland, cries during his video.
Why? Why are we doing? Sorry, not that he cries cool emotions, but like, why are we doing another video for him? Is it just every time he comes to town? We do a
Yeah, I
video?
think so. I think so.
Plays to the fans. That's it.
I think
It's,
so,
it's
probably.
pandering to the fans.
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. Chris, thank you for noticing. Is my pocket in the shape of Ohio? Yes, it is.
Oh.
Yes, it is.
Fashion statement. Starting a trend.
Yes, it is.
Adorable.
Well, I really trade secrets. Trade secrets. I do my 7:00 show inside the Browns beat, and I usually change my shirt for the 9:00 show. I don't know why. I feel like it just separates it a little bit. Well, tonight I brought 3 shirts down. This was my shirt for our interview for episode 300. And then I was going to change it into my Garage Beer shirt, but we didn't have time. Our guest for episode 300, one of our guests for episode 300 was so much fun that we went all the way to 9:00 and I didn't have time to go change it. So
it's you breaking the fourth wall.
breaking it.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Here's the question. Next year, 41-year-old LeBron James. He's a free agent. I'm assuming you're not going to have to break the bank to get him here because if you are, he's not coming. But free agent LeBron James decides he wants to end his career in Cleveland. Are we cool with that? Are we good with that?
Sure.
Hell
Why
yeah.
not?
Sure.
Why not?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah, sure.
Hell yes.
I mean,
I don't know.
I don't know if it
one of the greatest players of all time wants to finish his career at home in Cleveland. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Well, okay, Joe, what'd you say?
I don't know if he's gonna really like add much.
Can we talk about the greatness of LeBron James for a minute?
No.
He's having
Yeah,
like
but-
one of the worst seasons of his career because he's 40.
Yeah.
23 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists a game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
And really, that's only like 6 points below his normal average.
Like, maybe next year it's 26-5 or something. He is one of the greatest players of all time. And Chris says, why? It's not about, it's because he fits. He fits. Imagine taking the ball out of Donovan Mitchell's hands a little bit next year. Imagine the 2-man game that can get played with LeBron James and Evan Mobley.
Sure.
Imagine the weight that takes off of Darius Garland. Hey, Darius, we want you to be like a creating point guard, but also sometimes just make an open shot. It opens up a lot. It's what we talked about with this Cavs team. What are they missing? Some kind of wing player. It was supposed to be DeAndre Hunter, but he has not done that. 1 year with LeBron.
Yeah.
1 year, LeBron, Evan Mobley, Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Jared Allen. Yeah.
Twist my rubber arm. Sure.
I'm taking it all.
I'm in. I'm in.
Now, having said that, I love it. Does Bronny have to come too? Sure, bring him. I don't give a shit. We've already got Nepo Nance on the team. I mean, I love Larry Nance Jr. So don't
like, does he have to come to the games? Like to sit in the seats? Like, sure. Yeah.
he can come play. I don't give a shit. He can play 5 minutes a game. I don't give a shit.
17,000 seats you could choose.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm watching Lonzo Ball getting 15 minutes a game this year. Like, go ahead, Ronnie, get out there for a few minutes.
Ronnie can have Dan's seats.
Dan's hashtag Dan seats. I love that. LeBron's got to finish his career in Cleveland. I think he has to.
I mean, he doesn't have to, but it'd be cool. It'd be cool if he did.
I think he has to. I think you don't see it in the NBA the way you see it in other sports, where like in the NFL, a guy will sign like a 1-day contract.
Yeah,
finish his career with the team, whatever.
Fine.
In the NBA, you got to like play a season. He's got to play that season.
Yeah, farewell tour. You need a farewell tour.
Yeah, he's
got to.
Sure.
Yeah, our bench next year. LeBron, Kyle Korver, Tristan Thompson.
Fuck yeah.
Ira Newell.
Delonte West.
Oh, no.
Hey, he's getting sober.
Gloria James.
He's getting sober. Real good on you, dude. Okay.
I agree.
I mean, if you're having this retirement tour, you better bring back everybody. Okay, where's Jeff McInnes at? Huh? Eric Snow. Eric Snow. Let's go.
No booby.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah.
Larry Hughes. Nah, you're not invited.
Yeah, you'll forget it. You got 7 more teardrop tattoos to get.
Sasha Pavlovich. Wait, no, you're not invited either because you wouldn't let me sit on the couch that I was already on at a tiki bar one time.
Yeah, you piece of shit.
He was such a dick. Oh. Drew Gooden, but only if he only has hair right here on the back of his head.
That's it. You have to grow it back. And if not, you have to tape a patch of hair on. It could be your ball hair. I don't care.
Maybe we even bring some guys in from before LeBron. Like,
sure.
What's Chris Gatling doing?
I don't know. God Shamgod's got to be around here somewhere.
What's Clarence Weatherspoon doing?
Nothing. Sitting at home.
What's one of my all-time favorite Cavaliers that is just going to be the under-the-radar guy for the rest of his life? What's Lamont Murray doing?
Ooh, nice.
Can we do this one night? One night on the show. Can we just? Actually, we're going to do this one night, so I want you all to prepare for it.
Brabby Sarah. Brabby.
We're just going to sit here and name names for all of our favorite sports teams.
Just the random ones, though. Not anybody good. Just
not
random
stars.
Ones. Yeah.
I mean, if we're talking about drinking beers in the garage with your buddies, what are you normally doing?
Y'all remember Bobby Sarah?
You're just naming names. Yeah, I remember Bobby Sarah. I remember Zadrunas Ilgauskas stealing his girlfriend from him and to the point where he had to be shipped out of town.
Oh, God.
Yep.
Sorry, Brab.
Where's Chris Mills at?
Oh, Chris Mills. Trajan Langdon.
Dude, I was so sure Trajan Langdon was going to be a star. He's a general manager now.
Yeah, he's a GM of New Orleans, I think.
Yeah. Where's Luke Jackson at?
Save it for the show, boys. Come on.
Yeah, it's fine. Trajan Langdon from
Alaska or
Duke, or crazy, right? Alaska.
Yeah,
crazy. It's like the only NBA player ever from Alaska.
Oh, Ricky Davis. Ricky Davis was the most polite person that you wouldn't assume is polite I've ever met in my whole life.
Wrong way, Ricky.
Ricky Davis, I saw him at California Pizza Kitchen once.
Ooh,
yeah.
Good spot.
And somebody had to literally take the door away from him because he was holding the door open for like a line of people to get in. And somebody was like, you can go in and like sit down and eat lunch with your people.
Yeah. He's like, no,
he was just standing there holding the door. Just a polite dude. You would think Ricky Davis was kind of like, he would kind of like be the superstar kind of guy. Nah. Yeah. No, Ricky was a good dude. We got to get Ricky Davis on the show. All right, boys, are there any other major topics we missed tonight?
Hey, oh yeah, no, that's it. No, right. I was going to save my cheers, but
well, let's do our cheers of the week. And Chad, you're so eager. Why don't you lead us off?
I actually have 2 cheers. First is going to be the Miami Redhawks. Keep it going, boys. Like the college like I don't follow college basketball regular season at all, but this is such a great story. It's given me something to follow with college basketball. Stay undefeated. Go into the tournament. Be like that. Be that team in the tournament of Miami Redhawks. So that's my first cheers of the week. Second cheers goes to your boy here, Chad. My tweet earlier about if you're being outraged by Todd Monken, save it. Just made it on 19 Action News. I've been featured on 19 Action News.
Hey,
I got the screenshot from a family member, and I was like, okay, here we go. All right.
You are a celebrity.
Whee!
Joe, cheer of the week.
I want to cheers all of the first responders and power crews that have been dealing with all the snowstorms that y'all have been getting.
Yeah.
You guys haven't had the power issues, but Nashville got just ravaged. Like our house literally got power back 3 hours ago in Nashville, and it's been out since Saturday. And I know the NES crews down there were working nonstop. I'm sure there's many other states that have been doing that too. So cheers to those guys. Not that they listen, but we respect you.
I love it. Listen, my cheers goes to Garage Beers tonight. 299 episodes in. We are wrapping it now. We are getting into the 300s. We started this show April 1st of 2020. So we are going on 6 years. We are going on 300 episodes. And I just got to tell you, Joe and I talked about this after last week's show, and not to get overly sentimental, but one of the proudest things I've ever done in my life outside of getting married to my wife and having my kids and being a dad and all that stuff is this show. We started this show in a time where sports shut down. We talked a lot about Tiger King for 3 straight episodes, from episode 2 through episode 5. But this show has never been about the hunt for more people or more followers or money, which doesn't exist. It's never been about that. It's just been about getting together with Joe, getting together with Chad, and for some reason, these special guests that just want to come on and talk with us. And I never feel more pride outside of like my kids and my wife and stuff than when a guest like Nick Wilson or our special guest for episode 300, who gave us the kindest words after we interviewed him today, says, "Oh, boys, anytime you want me to come on, all you got to do is text me. I'm coming on with you guys." People that tell us that they don't do podcasts. I don't do podcasts, but like, I'll come on with you guys. It is immensely prideful for me. And 299 episodes in, like 250 special guests on those episodes. Man, cheers to you, Chad. Cheers to you, Joe. Cheers to all of you guys that join us live here on the OBR streaming network. Cheers to the OBR for having us, even though we're not a Browns show. We're kind of a Browns show, but then other stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I just love it. So you guys, everything about this show is my cheer of the week.
Let's go. Okay. Let's go.
You like
Sean,
us.
Sean says a lot, but great show. Thanks, Sean.
Hey, thanks, man.
Pat
Thanks,
Shea,
Sean.
300. Pat Shea, you're going to want to, you want to be excited about 300. Although I will say, I don't know that we're having anything Browns related on 300, but
yeah,
but other things related, you should be excited about it.
It'd be a weird time to do Browns thing on 300 with just the head coaching stuff going on.
I know. I was. I had a whole.
I'm actually kind of glad we're not going that direction.
I had a whole thing kind of set up for it, and then Kevin got fired, and it was like, oh shit.
It wasn't Kevin. But yeah.
Look at Shooter McGavin says, let's be honest, if this was a Browns only show, there's no way you would have made it to
damn right.
You're damn right.
Shot myself in the face.
Holy shit, that sounds terrible.
Yeah.
All right, boys, let's get out of here for episode 299. Let's wrap up the 200s in style by giving out our thank yous. First of all, big thank you to the OBR for hosting us. We're the only show that we know of in OBR history that they let talk about everything. From Ohio State to hockey and baseball and basketball and things that aren't even local. So we love the OBR for hosting us. We love them for being family. Get over to this QR code and make sure you're subscribed to the OBR, the best, biggest, oldest Cleveland Browns independent coverage site in all of Cleveland. You want to be part of it, so do that over at theobr.com. Big thank you to our special guest tonight, Nick Wilson from 92.3 The Fan. I'm going to sneeze. Hold on. Oh, God. Nick Wilson from the Afternoon Drive Show with him and Jonathan Peterlin over on 92.3 The Fan. Make sure you're tuned into him. And I know Nick's can say some things, but good dude. Great guy for always just kind of dropping whatever he's doing and come on with us. Really enjoyed having Nick. I didn't realize this. That was the first time we've had Nick on in 2 years.
2 years.
I was gonna say it's been a while since we.
Holy shit!
Oh my God! I'm almost ashamed of it, but I love talking.
He's such a homie. Like he's such a good hang.
Just drinking beers and talking sports. I love hanging out with Nick Wilson. So go follow him online at Nick Wilson Says. Big shout out to Nick Wilson though, and to go along with my cheers of the week, all of you guys. Big thank you to everybody that joined us live here tonight. The comments were great as always. You guys always keep me laughing. So shout out to you that joined us live. And if you can't join us live, remember, you can always catch us on demand on YouTube, Twitch, or you can just listen to us on the go wherever you get your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, or wherever. But we appreciate you for supporting us. Next week, episode 300 of the Garage Beers podcast. You are not going to want to miss it. We have got big, humongous things coming up. We're going to have multiple guests coming at you. Again, if you remember episode 100, it was Austin Carr. It was Joe Thomas. It was Rick Nash. If you remember episode 200, it was Kenny Lofton and Eric Metcalf. And it was Archie Griffin. And this episode 300 is not going to be outdone, so you're not going to want to miss it. That's happening next week, February 4th. And so make sure you are tuned in, because all week long we'll give you teasers and we'll announce our special guests. So make sure you're tuned in for that. All right, that's going to do it for us. For Joey out in Seattle at Garage Beers Joe. For Chad on the east side of Cleveland at Garage Beers Chad. I'm Michael Keefe at Garage Beers. Mike, go follow the show at The Garage Beers on all the socials. And until next week for episode 300, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week, and cheers, everybody.
Cheers.